Hi, everyone. Welcome to our third in the series, Adult Education Career Exploration Miniseries. The topic in this segment is Organize Your Job Search. I'm Valerie Kazubo, the Adult Education Career Advisor, here to assist you with your career exploration needs. So first off, I want to show you this brief video about how to organize your job search.
For most people, a typical job search starts with a visit to several well-known job boards. And even within the first hour, it's fairly easy to find a number of jobs to apply to and quickly feel like you're accomplishing something. After all, the old saying that looking for a job is a full-time job is a bit dated. Back in the day, it would have taken hours and hours to visit every business that you're now able to reach online in just a short time. For human resources managers, receiving resumes in the first hour a job is posted is equally encouraging. They may even find one or two candidates who look promising enough to call immediately. But here's where the ability to reach so many employers can become problematic for job hunters. Oftentimes, job candidates answer the phone, and instead of giving the excited reaction the recruiter is hoping to hear, they sound confused and pause awkwardly until they finally ask, "Where are you calling from again?" Then they have to explain that they've just spent an hour applying to jobs and can't remember what the position was that they're being called about. Talk about an easy way to tell a potential employer that you're not organized. It also tells them that you're applying to all sorts of jobs because you really don't know what it is that you're looking for. And just like that, the opportunity you're being called about is gone. So here are a few tips to avoid that mistake and make sure you can turn that phone call into the next phase. Applying to jobs via online job boards is a good method as long as it's just one of several methods you're using in your search, but you have to be organized about it. Make a simple Excel spreadsheet and log each resume as you send it out. Be sure to include the name of the company and a few sentences to remind yourself what type of position they're looking to fill, as well as the date you sent the resume in. Then, if and when you do receive a call about your resume, you can simply ask the person to hold for a moment and pull out your list. If your cell phone is the contact number on your resume and you're planning to be out and about, make a hard copy of your spreadsheet and keep it with you at all times. The list will also come in handy to make follow-up calls a few days later. Always remember, the interview starts as soon as you make contact. I'm Bree Teeley for the Job Channel Network.
Okay, so when she talked about being organized in an Excel spreadsheet, here's an example of a Excel spreadsheet. The link to it is at the bottom of this slide. Slides will accompany the video to anyone who requests it. And these are the types of things that you want to keep track of, what companies you've applied to, some information about the company, who the contact person is, make sure you keep their contact information and how you contacted them up to date. Each time you make contact, make sure that you update it so that you know what happened at the last time, most recent time that you talked to them. And it's a good idea if you notice this at the end here, job rating scale of 1 to 10. 1 being least likely, 10 being the most likely. How do you really feel about this position? Is it one that's just an okay? Is it a 10 and you would kill for this job? You know, these are the, if you rank it, then you'll know how important it is to you. And should somebody contact you from that company, right away, you can see that that is one, especially when you start applying to multiple online opportunities. So use that link and the organizer, the Excel spreadsheet organizer is there. Okay, the next thing, did I go too far? I did. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, what are your goals? You've got to decide in your job search just exactly what are you looking for. Have you hit a plateau at the job that you're currently at, and you want to be able to move up, but there's nowhere to move in your own company? Did you really love what you did in your last job? Or if there were only a few things, what do you love? What do you not like? Um, are there things that you want to learn? Things are always developing and we get new technologies. And by doing career exploration, you can find out about opportunities that you didn't even know that were out there, that possibly with a short-term certificate program like the many that we have at Waubonsee Community College, you would qualify for a job in an area that's new to you, but gets you off that entry level, opens the door for you. And then, are there companies that are out there that have a shared interest, either in, say, the charitable work that they do, in how, what their quality of life, work-life balance philosophy is? There are a lot of things about a company that would maybe attract you, and those are the kinds of things that you would be looking for when you're researching companies. You have to remember that today you cannot count on just applying online. The majority of jobs are from networking. That's how people are finding out about them. That's how contact is made. Many, many jobs, I don't know what the percentage is, but they never make it to an online job board. So there are jobs in companies out there that you won't even know about if you're only looking at job boards. So if there's a company that you're interested in, make sure you get to their site, and also look to see all of the employment opportunities they have. They don't always list every one of the jobs that they have available for. And you want to keep track of people who you've contacted. So if you set up a spreadsheet with the name and contact information and why you contacted them. So if it's somebody from a company, you might want to put it on your tracking information for the jobs that you've applied for. You might know someone who works at the company that you're interested in. You might know someone who has a job that's similar to yours. So keep track of why you're contacting this person and what their relationship to the new position is. Probably the first place to start is with the people who you believe would be good references for you. So those people who can attest to not only you as a person, but also you in the workplace. So generally it's a 2-to-1 ratio. You can have one for every one person who's going to give a personal community kind of um, a reference for you. You want two references from your business and the work that you did. You want to also just reach out to people you know. This is the time in the first two segments in that we've covered in this mini series, resumes and job interviews. We talked about reaching out to everyone and having a branding statement. And the branding statement is really, how are you going to sell you? It should be about a minute long, short and clear, maybe talking about who you are, what your background is, what you're looking for, and what your skills are. So even if you're looking to change careers, there are those skills like problem solving, communication, teamwork is another one that we usually see in the top 4 or 5. So those are skills that even though you didn't do them in the same job, you have done them throughout your career. So those would be things that you would want to make sure that you mention. And then if there's anything that you have in common. So for example, if you went to the same college or high school, grew up in a different state than where we live now, or a different area than where you live now, your children go to the same school, you're in the same school district, you go to the same church, you are familiar, you work out at the same place. Anything that's a shared interest, even if it's a hobby. Anything that's a shared interest will help you to connect to that person that you're interviewing with, as well as make you memorable because you've connected with them in another way other than just somebody who's telling their story. They have something in contact with you. I'm sorry, in common with you. And then when you're talking to them, you also want to, if they would be willing to help you, you would certainly be willing to help them. If there's ever a job opportunity, if they're looking for someone, you would be happy to tell your friends about it and network for them as well, or be a reference for them. And remember to always send a thank you as a follow-up, no matter what kind of contact you've had, whether it's a phone interview, face-to-face, Zoom. Make sure in those first few seconds when you're on a Zoom, and everybody's just connecting, try to quickly write down the names of everybody that's on the call. It's a little more difficult when you're on the phone, so it is okay to ask again what the person's name is, what their position is. You can always say, could you spell your name for me? And hope that it's not something really simple that you should already know how to spell, but that's one way of doing it. And then when you're going out and ready to start looking for a job, your tools are listed here. You have to have an up-to-date resume, and you don't want to wait until you find that first job that you want to apply for, because in the time it takes you to update your resume, that job will be gone. So make sure you update your resume immediately. Develop a cover letter that you can adapt based on what the job description is. Same thing with the resume. You want to make sure you're including those keywords. When you're working on your resume, make sure you look up resume tips that is the first segment of this mini series, just to give you some hints on what will make you stand out. It's huge to use some professional media like LinkedIn. The good part about LinkedIn is it can help you in a lot of different ways. You can do a search in LinkedIn, searching for people who have the job you're looking for. You can do a search in LinkedIn of people who work for the company that you're interested in, and you can reach out to these people asking for information. Tell them you're interested in the company or you're interested in a job like that. You would be surprised at how easily and how willing people are to help you. So definitely get that LinkedIn profile in. There's also, if you upload your technically resume, the LinkedIn resume is different in that you can add a lot of details. Remember, with our resume that we're going to upload to applications, we are limiting that to 2 pages. So if you've had 30 years of experience or 5 years of experience or no experience because it's your first job, no longer than 2 pages. In LinkedIn, you've got more space and you can be more casual about explaining what you did, give more information. You can also share information about yourself that makes you a little bit more connectable. Remember to check your social media and make sure that everything is appropriate, because employers, whether you give them that link to social media on your resume or not, they will be searching the web with your name. So it's a good idea for you to do that as well. And then the other thing that some people are doing is they are creating their own website, which is extremely impressive to employers. So remember that if you have a LinkedIn account, a website, a digital resume, a digital career portfolio, put those links up in your contact information so that they realize, first of all, you're up to date and current, and also it's a place where they can look for more information about you. And here are some sample schedules, whether you're going to do something in your job search every day or you only really can do it on the weekends. Think about applying to 2 to 3 jobs a week. Don't apply to absolutely everything. The first schedule gives you time to look at several job boards, decide what are interesting positions. You want to always network, follow up, do any related webinars that you can. Thursday and Friday, you're going to want to do your job applications, and then you can recharge on the weekend. If all you have is the weekend, apply, find on Friday night whatever jobs, 1 to 2 jobs that are interesting to you. And on Saturday morning, apply to those jobs and then take a break. And then on Sunday, make sure that you reach out to some people, reconnect with people that you haven't normally seen. If you don't already have a LinkedIn account, this would be a great time to do that. One of the suggestions that I heard was for the very first month, identify all the people that you know who you have some kind of relationship with and come up with a series of outreach emails. And every week, put something a little bit slightly different out there. I know it seems like you're being a pest, but it keeps you in the forefront, and it also lets them know that you are seriously interested in doing this. So those are just some tips on how to organize your job search. And I like to end every one of my segments with our advising team contact information. So Tom Petrosic and Marlena Rios are your academic transition advisors, and they can help you with transitioning either to college classes or training courses, give you advice on, help you to set up your goals. And I'm Valerie Kazubel, your career advisor. So anything related to careers, either exploring or questions about applying, help with your resumes, interview tips, all of those things I can help you with. It's not unusual we work very closely together, so it's not unusual for the students that I'm working with as a career advisor to also be working with their transition advisor on something else. So since we work so closely, make contact with one of us and we'll make sure you're in the right place. So this is the end of segment 3 of our career exploration mini series. This is the time to get out there. Employers are looking desperate for employees. They are raising salary levels. Some of them are offering sign-on bonuses. This is the time to get out there. So please check out our series. Careers with Valerie is my YouTube page. All the videos that I've done for our Thursday night job fair are on there, as well as this mini series. So good luck in your job search, and thanks for joining me.